Cameron, it could, in the end, look like a masterstroke if Cameron Munster thrives with C next to his name.
Well, a huge decision, wasn't it, to leave Daly Cherry Evans out. Skipper of the Maroons, played 26 Origins, 20 consecutive as halfback. But we've got a new captain now, Queensland, wearing a pretty famous jersey too, Brace, the number 6 jersey. Wally Lewis, Darren Lockyer, of course, captaining the state with the number 6 jersey. And look, this man's produced at this level many, many times before. But this, on a personal level, this will be his biggest test. His biggest challenge is to lead this team out here, down 1-0 in a neutral venue. It's
Smithy, do you think
a place where they're up against it, the Maroons.
Do you think it's a sign that how much they need Cameron Munster to have an absolutely fantastic game? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, he's not even the captain for his club side. Harry Grant is. And Harry Grant's also in the side.
Yeah, well...
For me, look, I don't want to say a sign of desperation, but it looks to me like they really need him to have a big game.
Well, no doubt. He's one of a lot of players that need to have a big game, Gal. But, I think Cam Munster, he's the position that he's in and the X factor that he brings to the Maroons, I think that's probably a part of the move from Billy, is giving him the C next to his name to say, hey, mate, look, listen, you need to go out there. You've got an extra responsibility now to lead this team around the park and go out there and play well. We can't have a 6 or a 7 out of 10 game from you. It's got to be 9 or a 10 out of 10 from you. And generally speaking, that's where the best players, that's how they finish games. They finish 8, 9, 10 out of 10.
Gus, the forward dominance for the Blues in game 1. Do you see a way that Queensland can try and right that?
Well, I don't see it in the selection process. I don't see it there. But, it's an attitude thing. It's a possession thing. It's not giving away penalties and dropping the ball and making their tackles. There is no doubt in my mind that this was the overriding force in the game, was the forward barrage in the first 25 minutes that New South Wales dominated, and it virtually set the tone for the game. So far as the captaincy with young Munster, I thought he was the only choice. I mean, why would you pick a captain that wasn't going to play 80 minutes? And when you look through the rest of the team, there's not an 80-minute survivor there that's due to be captain of that side. You could go with Harry or you could go with Tino and those sort of blokes, but there's no guarantee either of those are going to play the full 80 minutes, where Munster has to, and he has to have a good performance for Queensland to win. The forward battle, I'm not seeing it in the selection process, whether they've got another strategy, whether they're going to change the starting lineup. I don't think they can win with the team that they've picked, as it looks on paper. I think there's got to be another strategy behind it. If they go out with that first 17, as on paper, I just can't see them changing it on what happened in game 1.
What will Billy want to be seeing from Tom Dearden in that 7 jumper with no DCE now?
Well, I think he'll want him to play the way he always plays. He attacks the opposition with his leg speed. He attacks the opposition. He loves running the football, as we can see here. He made a difference when he came on the field in the first game. I know the game was well and truly in control with the Blues at that stage. And it's a different thing, and Gus mentioned that post-game in Brisbane. It's a very different prospect starting the match to what it is like coming on in, the 60th minute. I think he come on something around that. But I think, Billy he'll be encouraging Tom to take the game on, through his running game, through his kicking. And the one thing he really enjoys doing is defending. He doesn't mind mixing it, with the bigger boys. So when you listen to the guys that have done so well in, the number 7 jersey at this level, when you're talking to guys like Andrew Johns, it's all about, getting that part of your game right first, your defence, making sure that you have strong contact against the back rowers who are going to line you up and try and run over the top of you.
Yep.
I'm sure Tommy's had that mindset all week, but if he gets that right, he should have a good game.
Smithy, do you think they'll start with Harry? I mean, Kurt Mann, for me, Harry's started 6 games. You're the greatest the one Queensland's had. You generally played 80 minutes. Harry was found out of the big game 1. His discipline wasn't great, both with errors in the ball and penalties. He was hammered in defence. Do you think they'll take him out of that hardest part of the game, the first 20 minutes? He's none from 6 starting, I think that's
none from 4, I think.
None from 4,
yeah. Look, I'm a fan of Harry Grant starting on the bench. I think it allows him to play his game when he comes on. It keeps him out of that barrage of the first 20 minutes where it's just bash it up footy.
Yep.
Right? They just really all they're doing is belting the crap out of one another. Really, that's all. It's a softening up period.
Yep.
And then the key position players, they take over. They start, getting their set plays on and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know if Billy will change it, mate. I really don't. I think he likes Harry starting. But I completely understand where you're coming from. Having someone like Kurt Mann start and go out there and make 20 tackles and then throw Harry on.
The big news for the Blues in the past week, Gus, has been the loss of Mitch Moses, not just for Game 2 but for the series.
Yep.
And so what it means is Nathan Cleary, Jerome Luai back together again.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and this is nothing against Mitchell Moses at all, who's done an outstanding job in Origin, filling in for Nathan Cleary, and he did an outstanding job in Game 1. But to be honest, it actually makes the combination better. Luai's combination with Cleary, with Yeo, and with the fullback Dylan Edwards, they've played so much football together. In a high-pressure situation, you need to have that little bit of telepathy between the others, what they're thinking. He also gives them a left-foot kick, which is on that left side of the field, which is always very advantageous, and they know when to use it and how to use it. Look, nothing against Mitchell Moses. He was outstanding, and he deserved to be picked again in Game 2. But somehow I think it actually makes them stronger under pressure if the game gets down to that sort of level.
I think it makes New South Wales a little bit more unpredictable as well, having Jerome Luai there. Just the style of football that he plays, and he's a bit like a Cam Munster. You just not always sure about what he's going to do, and what he will do is he'll test the middle forwards out. Every time that ball goes out to the left hand side, if there's space or he doesn't feel any pressure coming from any defenders, he'll come off the left foot, he'll skip across, and he'll ask plenty of questions of the middle forwards.